I'm Jennifer Runyon at Intersolar North America in San Francisco. My guest right now is Wendy Arienzo, the CEO of Array Power. Welcome.
Thank you. Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, it's great that you could come out. So Wendy and I are going to talk a little bit about the California market and then the challenges that the solar industry is facing right now. So my big question is, do you think the state's going to meet its RPS?
I think it's a struggle. We've made life very, very difficult this year with some of the changes, the pending tariff, as well as the change to 1603. So in an industry that's struggling to grow, we're making it a little bit more difficult.
Right. On the RPS, for California utilities, they're already at about 20% of renewables, and they need to get to 33% by 2020. So we have 8 years. Do you think there's enough infrastructure in place? Is there enough money in the state to support all that?
Again, at this point, every state is very, very challenged in putting on additional challenges associated with infrastructure creation, which absolutely must occur, independent of what the energy policy is, will make it that much more difficult. Again, I'm sure it's something that if everybody would to pitch in as a unified policy and platform, we can certainly make it happen. But in a divisive political structure and an election year, it just makes things that much more complicated.
Absolutely. And we do have this trade case. So let me hear your take on that. I mean, what do you think the tariffs are going to do to the industry?
Well, certainly, let's start by looking at history and suggesting that tariffs have never fixed any of these situations, right? They just further complicate the trade situation and complicate the local economy. So we certainly haven't done ourselves a favor by raising the issue and trying to enforce it. I think it will cause confusion in our industry, if nothing else, and certainly will not go to promoting jobs and growing the industry faster, which is what we should be doing.
Right. Well, on the other hand, though, we do want to have a domestic, we want to have a level playing field to take the solar world point of view. What would you say to that?
There are many ways to get there from here, and I have many, many years of experience in manufacturing and the semiconductor industry, which was also a very competitive industry. Sure. And again, that isn't resolved through tariffing, it's resolved through innovation, it's solved through achieving scale and driving acceptance throughout America and growing the solar industry across America.
Right, absolutely. What are some of the other challenges that are happening right now? I mean, we've got module manufacturers going under left and right. How do you think the industry is going to fare going forward?
Well, certainly we're experiencing a time of consolidation and commoditization, if that's a real word. But if you look back at what happened, for example, in the memory world of DRAM, there were a lot of big players, and many of them did not succeed. Those that will be successful are players that can get big and drive down their costs and solve the problem at a global level as opposed to a country-specific level.
All right.
Right? So we will see change in the landscape as we go forward with fewer and fewer but larger players, and that will drive the module side of the business. If we look at the other side of the business, which is balance of systems, that's all the other stuff, if you wish, loosely stated, everything from racking, mechanical structures, to electrical. Now the focus has to be on balance of systems and how do we lower that cost? Is it through creating standards that then drive economy of scale? Yeah. Is it through simplicity, focus on reduction in labor? Is it by streamlining permitting? And these are all areas that we need to focus on, especially in 2012 and going forward, if we're going to really